We are delighted to have you here at the Phil SME Business Show. This is the first ever community-hosted business podcast and vodcast dedicated to help SME business owners like you to boost your business.
Welcome to the PHILSME Business Show. My name is Zabyzaky, the Managing Director of Trucend Business Management Inc., a proud member of PHILSME Business Network. So I'm happy and glad to be a host for you for this episode, introducing you guys. Today, we'll be hearing business solutions coming from Mount Fuji Lending from Nieves. And we have Loc Stor 24/7 Secure Self-Storage from Miss Reina, Licauco. So, hi guys, how are you?
Good. We're good.
Good. So before we ask question number one, I'd like to know first, what's your most memorable Phil SME experience or story? That could be the network or the expo. So is this the first time you joined the Phil SME?
For me, yes.
So what are the
Same-
expectations?
Same month.
Same month, really?
Yeah, we just joined this month.
So expectation-wise, since you still haven't got the experience working with Phil SME, what are your expectations?
I guess it's more of to network, to reach, to expand the reach to the community and be able to contribute and help more and more SMEs.
All right. How about you, Reina?
So we joined one expo, I think it was last year or early this year, I forget. But so I went to that expo and it was quite exciting because there were a lot of companies that were there, and then I was able to get to kind of like scout the reach, the breadth and the variety of SMEs that were actually part of this organization. So like what Mick said, we want to also be able to extend our reach to other businesses.
All right. Thank you for that. So now let's dive in on the different questions that Phil SME prepared for you guys. So question number one. So what company pain points are you working on, or what are the things that you are trying to solve with your business? Let's start first with Miss Reina.
Okay, so Loc Stor 24/7 is a self-storage company. So for those who are not so familiar with it, let's start with that first. So when we say self-storage, it's like try to imagine a warehouse facility, but when you go inside, it's actually filled with storage units of different sizes. So you have from 1.5 square meters, which can fit 8 balikbayan boxes, up to 20 square meters, which can fit the contents of a 40-foot container. Okay, and so these are all units. So you actually have a door. And then it's self-storage because you have your own padlock to your storage unit, and you also have your own key. So you're the only one who has access to it. So you and your representatives are the only ones who have access to the items inside that unit. Okay, so for business owners, this works out very well for them because it's like a private extension of their own office, right? Because a lot of our business owners who've decided to be our clients, one of their pain point is lack of space in their own offices, right? So they'll have a corner there that's full of like a box of 5-year-old receipts or 8-year-old documents that they can't throw out because that's mandatory by the government, right? So and that's real estate that they're paying for. So they could actually have another staff come in, help the company grow, but they can't do that because they don't have space for that other team member to come in. So they store with us. They have their files and their documents with us. Another one is we also help lower the overhead costs for storage needs of companies that are growing. So like first of all, the difference between us and a regular warehouse or any storage site is that it's a very flexible rental period. So our minimum rental period is only actually just 1 month. Right. But we also have business clients that have been with us for like 5 years and 5 years and above. Right. So one is a flexible rental period. The other one is the flexibility of the sizes. So like what I said earlier, there are different sizes. So depending on the space that you need to keep your items, like if you only have inventory that's going to all fit in a 9 square meter, why are you going to rent a warehouse that's 100 square meters and you're locked in there for 12 months,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
So in self-storage, that's what we do for you. We kind of like help you cut down your overhead costs for storing your inventory.
All right.
Yeah, and then it's also secure. So you don't have, because if you're going to get your own storage site, you'll have to think of the bantay,
Yeah.
right? You have to think of like electricity. You'll have to think of what else? Security, fire alarm system, gen sets, and all that. But that's already all
Included.
included
everything else.
in the storage facility.
Right.
So
How many
that's
branches
something
do you
that
have, by the
don't.
way?
We have 5. So we cover the north, 5 in Metro Manila. So north is North EDSA, south is Sucat, east is Pasig, and then west is JP Rizal and urban in Makati.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you,
Those are
Mix?
the 2 things.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Actually,
please.
yeah. Before I'd like to add in there too, like another indirect benefit of that is that you know you really try to make a very conducive environment for your team, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, eh, but by eliminating out all of the noise and
Yeah.
putting it somewhere
Kalat.
else, yes,
Yeah, get rid of the kalat.
that
Matambak.
your team would be more productive, diba?
Yes.
And that's one of majority of the time because of the typical mindset na nagtitipid na parang
Nagtitipid,
yes, diba?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you take that out, you increase the productivity.
Yes, I
Yung
agree.
cost benefit
Yes.
nun, diba?
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank
We'd
you.
like to hear from you. What are the things that you're trying to solve, basically?
For Mount Fuji Lending, well, by and large, SMEs find it difficult to get access to additional working capital, right? Because of the lack of credit history, so we make it easy for them. Is because we have the nimbleness to understand them better. That we can allocate the right amount of resources to tailor our how we package our loan for each and every SME. Because as we always say, no two SMEs are essentially alike.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now we heard your story. We would like to identify naman yung pinaka-main problem that we do. Let's go on the specific for this one. Now, can you share how does your solutions work? So if I may, we could start off with Mix naman.
So how our solutions work is that yes, we've become very efficient in understanding the cash flows of SMEs. That way that we can actually truly tailor the loan package for them. Yeah. And taking out the lip service out of it. How we do it is that we really put in the time and effort to really understand your business as a whole. We avoid transactional lending. And really get to know you. It's because our approach has always been highly relational. Because we all our goal is to be one of your long-term partners. Right? So we don't. That's what we call our borrowers. So we don't call them borrowers. We call them partners. And we will partner with you to make sure that you achieve healthy and sustainable growth. Right? So we're not here for to make a quick transaction and then make a quick exit if we're seeing some red flags. Once we enter that partnership, you can be assured that we're going to be your long-term partner. We're going to be there from where you are now and we're going to make sure that you get bigger and bigger too. And later on, we'll probably delve into that too.
All right. Let's hear from Reina.
No, that's nice. I think that your focus on trust is really very admirable. Yeah, especially when it comes to finances, it's very hard to build that. Okay, so about Loc Stor, what are the pain points we try to address or the solutions? Okay, so what comes to mind is we actually had this business owner. He was selling those large grass cutters, right? And then some other materials that were related to it. And so what would happen with his business is that his inventory would all come in at the same time naturally, right? So he would rent out 4 large units for all that inventory. But as he sells off his items, he doesn't need those 4 large units anymore, right? So he would lessen it to 3 to 2 to 1. So that actually also saved him the cost of having to store and having to be committed to a storage site for 12 months when in fact his inventory would diminish because he sells it, right? So we provided flexibility for that particular business owner. Okay. Then another business owner naman, because we have facilities across Metro Manila, what she did was she stores some of her inventory in Sucat and then some of it in Pasig. Right. So when a client wants or a client is buying something from her and it's in the north, like let's say in Pasig, right? So it's just easy for her representatives to get the item there and bring it, to the client without much traffic, because time is money for us, right? For business owners. So yeah, for everybody. Yeah. So business owners actually end up renting facilities across Metro Manila because it's easier for them. And then another business owner also, what she does is she rents out one large unit, and then like what the other business owner did when his inventory was selling off was she just downscaled. So from a large size, from a 16 square meter, she downscaled to a 9 square meter, right? So there. So we kind of like, you just practically pay for the space that you need. Like you won't have excess space that excess
Okay.
space.
So I'm curious, the man, in terms of how the company started for both of the companies you have it. So let's start first, Mount Fuji, then Ding. So how did the company started? Although I have the idea. So go ahead.
So how we started it is that my background is I'm a former commercial banker, and that's where I saw how difficult it is, the preference on the larger businesses, right? Those with the bigger deposits, right? And we understand why banks need to do that, right? So how Mount Fuji started is that the focus is on to bridge that gap, that funding gap that SMEs have, and the only way you can do that is if you go outside the limitations of banking, di ba? Wherein you would have that nimbleness that SMEs need, because more often than not, when they realize that they need to borrow, they need the money yesterday, right? So you have to have that speed at the same time maintain that quality, and that's how it all started. No, I had a Japanese partner who's also keen on helping out, not just SMEs but the Filipinos too. Right? And that's how we started Mount Fuji Lending 3 years ago.
How about here? How did the company started?
Sorry. So actually, the one who conceptualized Loc Stor 24/7 was actually Sam Peterson. So he's a managing director of the company here, but he actually was working for the company. He was actually based in Singapore. He was actually working for the company that built the partitions. So the steel partitions, the walls, the doors. So then he would have to go across Asia. So he went to Japan, he went to Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, excuse me, Singapore, to visit their clients, right? And then so he came across all these storage operators, self-storage operators, and then he started picking up, the best practices. He saw what was working, what was not, right? And then when he came to the Philippines, he was like, so he did some research. He said, oh, there's only one player, and it was a very different business model. So he said, oh, why don't we try it here in the Philippines and see how it works, right? So that was 2014. That was 10 years ago. We had only maybe 100 units, maybe. So now we have 5 facilities, and we so far have around ever since we started, 9,000 plus customers. And then we had the biggest. So in terms of square meter size, we are the biggest self-storage facility. Yeah.
Exciting. So moving forward, naman, in terms of all the offers that we have here, so why do you think our listeners, our viewers here, consider your company's services and products? So what are the some something unique, something that you could offer, especially with our field SME community, in terms of all the listening or all the viewers that we have?
For me,
Yeah,
for us,
let's start with you. Yes.
So again, it's focused on relationships. We've been very disciplined in doing that. It's never a transactional approach for us. So you can be assured that we'd actually be able to really tell you how much money you need, and you'd be surprised, and when do you need it. Siguro, one, let's say for some of our accounts, um, we usually have this whiteboard sessions with them, wherein after our full evaluation, we sit down with them and then we'll let them know. We share our evaluation, we share them our findings, and then that's when we tell them that based on what we see, this is what you need, this is what's going to work for you. We're not going to lend you, or we're not going to lend out to you if it doesn't make sense, especially if it's, if we're just eating out your margins, because some SMEs or some business owners, they look at more of the volume, the revenue growth, but more often than not, they forget about their cash flows and their profitability. Right? So if it doesn't make business sense, we're always direct. As I said, we go for long-term partnerships, and then during the course of our relationship, we actually tell you, or we actually able to forecast already the seasonal facilities that you would need. No? Let's say one example we have for one of our account, we told them already that it seems that based on the cycle of your business, your cash flow, your collections cycles, and then that how your market moves. We lend out to them, let's say, 1 million every 2 months, and then we give them a seasonal facility during the third quarter to ready their company for the fourth quarter spike.
Is there an exclusive offer that you could offer for the field SME community?
So in our space, it's always risk-based pricing. But for the field SME community, we can, since it's direct, we can give them lower processing fees. At the same time, preferential interest rates.
All right, thank you for that. How about you, Reina?
Okay, so for Loc Stor self-storage, right? I think if you go to other storage facilities, we might have the same look because we have the same suppliers in terms of the partitions, the hardware, and all that. But I think what really makes us different from others is the service that we provide, the customer service that we provide. So if you go through our Google reviews, you'll really see that a lot of people appreciate the kind of professionalism that our team members afford our clients, right? So we make it a practice that we always acknowledge customers' concerns within 24 hours. We might not have a solution for you in 24 hours, but we definitely hear you. We definitely listen to you. And so they really appreciate that. It's just really convenient. Storing with us. Like we've actually had customers who were abroad, right? I mean, they had to go home, they had to do some real estate sale, what property, whatever. They had to find a place for their items to be stored in, their furniture and all that. And they did everything through email, through online. And then when they got there, all they had to do was get the stuff out of their house and then bring it to Loc Stor. So I think it's really the professionalism and the convenience that we provide. And then we do have add-ons for business owners who store with us. So we have what we call the business. So it's like an office space that you can rent, because we've had business owners come into their storage units and they end up doing their work there. So they bring their own table, they bring an electric fan, they bring their, they bring their laptops and all that. So we decided, okay, maybe you know what, this is a something that we can address. So we have an office space that's for rent. There's Wi-Fi, there's aircon.
So something
Make
like a
it more
virtual office
comfortable.
or something? No,
Yeah,
really.
puede.
Pwede. Co-working
Yeah, like a
space,
co-working
something?
space. Yeah,
Oh.
something along that line.
Yeah, first time I heard
Yes,
about
and
it,
the
actually.
inventory and your
Loc Stor.
inventory is there. So that if you have to
Ah.
reconcile your sales with the current inventory that you have in the storage unit, you can easily do that because it's just right.
How does it work? Like a subscription per month or just per day?
No, it's per hour.
Per hour.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah,
just
so it's
renting like
very
the space
flexible.
itself per
Yeah,
hour.
you could
Yeah.
give the flexibility of being able to do that. Because more often than not,
Yeah.
they would still have to manage their
Yes.
Free
inventory.
Wi-Fi,
Yes, they do.
free
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
coffee, maybe.
SMEs,
Yes, we do have free
they
coffee.
like to do that
Yeah.
personally, right?
Yes,
they
because
they
it's
want to
their
be
own,
there.
It's their
Yes.
baby.
Nice,
right?
nice,
It's their
nice.
baby, so they want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
First time I heard
Uh,
about it for Loc Stor, honestly.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
start.
It's very
And
unique.
for
Yeah. At the
Okay.
same time, it's very efficient logistically because
Right,
you have
you're right
5
there.
locations,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so-
Yes. Yeah. And then for bazaar, so the Burr months are coming up, right?
Alright.
So then you have a lot of people coming from outside of Metro Manila
Mhm.
and joining these bazaars, right? And we found out that a lot of people like from Bacolod, from Iloilo, from Davao, from Ilocos, they have a hard time when they come here, they don't know where to store their items, their inventory.
Right.
Because they're here for 1 month, but the bazaars are only pop-up events for the weekend.
Mhm.
So where do you keep your stuff
Mhm.
Monday to Thursday, right?
Mm.
You can't lug it back all the way there. It's really tiresome for them. So we do
Yeah.
have what you call the luggage storage option, wherein you can rent it by hour or by day.
Sure.
Right. So it's really a way to support the SMEs and the creative the creative people of
Right. Okay.
the creative people behind SMEs here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Is there an exclusive offer you could offer with your SME community?
I'm pretty sure there is.
You're
but
ready.
I have to double check. But we do have ongoing promos always. So it depends on the facility. But I do know that if you rent 12 months with us, 1 year, you get 1 month free. Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's one of the promos that I can vouch for across all facilities.
Just go visit our website at www.mountfujilending.com and just make sure to mention that you've heard of us through PhilSME.
Yeah. So same also when you go to Loc Stor, any of the facilities, just mention that you are part of the PhilSME network, and we will process that promo.
All right, thank you for that. So, moving forward, let's talk about life and business. So, out of many lessons that you have based on your experience, what will be the one thing that you'd like to share to the world?
I think for me, because I wasn't really in a corporate kind of person, so being part of Loc Stor was my first foray into the corporate setup, and I think what I learned here was to be open-minded. Right. Be aware of your prejudices, your biases, and how that can actually impede the way you relate to people. So that's what I learned with Loc Stor, because I came across so many customers. I was shot at by customers, and I came across so many employees also. So it really helps to have an open mind when you deal with people and try to put yourself in their place when the time, if the situation calls for it.
All right, thank you for that. How about you, Max?
For me, it's always about keeping a balance. So we're proud to say that we've achieved what we're able to achieve by always having that work-life harmony, by always being fair to everybody. May that be in life or in business. May that be with your partners, whether they be internal or external, diba? With your team, with your partners, with all the stakeholders that you have. At the same time, having that balance with making sure that you also have that same amount of fairness with your family and with your friends, right? And I guess with yourself too.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And now, as we come to the end of our interview, so there will be something for our listeners. So we always end it with a bang. So I assume that you guys prepared some few jokes for us. So it's more on the business joke side. So please start it off, Mix.
Imagine your business not just reaching its goals, but surpassing them. With Esquire Financing, that vision is not just a possibility, it's reality. Get the cash your business needs in as fast as 3 days, making your barriers become stepping stones. Our partnership is a sure success.
Running a business can be hard, but over 7 million people have found a way to make it easier with Odoo. Odoo's suite of business applications streamline, automate, and simplify your business. With user-friendly, intuitive, and fully integrated apps for CRM, accounting, e-commerce, manufacturing, inventory management, you name it, Odoo's got it. Stop wasting time with old software and start getting stuff done with Odoo. Get a free trial at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
Alam ko magaling ka sa bagay na yan. So give us the best that you could have.
I guess the most common for our space is that, like I said earlier, like it's always long-term relationships, right? So when we enter like a transaction, or let's say a loan transaction, it's
Alright.
kind of like entering a marriage with us, right? So the only way to end it is till death do us part.
Wow.
So,
Lalim, ha? Sige. Fair enough. How about
by death we mean utang.
No, utang. By death. Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
Sige. How about you, Reina?
I'm not good in delivering jokes, but we do have couples that actually come in when they are renovating. Okay, and renovation is always a hot issue between married couples, especially if they don't agree on the styles and all that. Or
Usapang
the other
couple
one,
pala.
or the other one is very makalat,
Yeah.
daming tambak and all that, and then you hear the other partner just complaining, ganyan. So so when a married couple comes in and then they store their so there's this one lady, she said, "Oh, you know what? At least we have space na.
Wow.
Maski lang ganun. Maski lang sa mga gamit natin may space."
Wow. Very practical. I like the humor for this session kasi kanina more knock jokes eh. Knock jokes. No. Nice. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's all we have now for PHILSME. So thank you so much, Mix and Reina, for this interview. So shall we see you next on the PHILSME Business Expo? How about you?
Definitely, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us also.
All right.
It was nice meeting you.
It was a pleasure.
Enjoy the benefits of being a PHILSME Business Network member. Apply today at philsme.com/network. Are you ready to exhibit and reach thousands of SME business owners, startups, and entrepreneurs? Join the upcoming PHILSME Business Expo. Apply today at www.philsme.com/exhibit.
So this wraps up our conversation, the business solutions for Mount Fuji lending, and the same time with Loc Stor 24/7 secure, safe self-storage. So if you wish to know more about the PHILSME Business Network and Business Expo, just go to www.philsme.com, and thank you for listening. See you guys.
A lot of people ask me how I got here. And in all businesses,
there are always going to be hiccups. But each time I miss a window or hit a bump in the road, I remember why I kept going. Just being able to do what I really want to do. Security Bank believed in me. Let's get to work.
Are you an enterprise owner, startup, or entrepreneur? Grow your business with Evident, your go-to purpose marketing firm. With our big hearts and even bigger results, we're here to help you shine. Email us at info@evident.ph to get your customized marketing investment plan.
Streamline your business processes to elevate overall productivity and enhance management effectiveness with AutoCount Business Solutions. Visit AutoCount's website at ph.autocountsoft.com today to learn more.
Finding the right talents can take you weeks or months of posting jobs, drowning in resumes, endless interviews, and surprise, they're not exactly the one. BossJob is here to help. We streamline the hiring process by helping you find candidates that are qualified and relevant, all in one app. Don't get stuck in the hiring process. Visit employer.bossjob.com and sign up for a free premium subscription to experience the future of hiring with BossJob.
The difference between working a simple job and developing a career is one's attitude. Do your employees think of their work and personal goals in the long term? Are you prepared to provide the healthcare support they need to become successful individuals and contributors to your business? Help your employees become stronger advocates for their goals and their own health through regular checkups at any The Medical City near you. The Medical City network of hospitals and the Medical City Clinic can support your employees in their entire work journey through employment checkups, customized healthcare service packages, corporate health and wellness activities, and inpatient discounts. For partnership inquiries, you may email managed-care-unit@themedicalcity.com or visit tmcph.co/PhilSME-Champ for corporate accreditation.
Business today are often burdened with disconnected features from single apps, making it difficult to manage various operations effectively. At Malayatech, we help our clients integrate all their business processes into one cohesive system. With this, our clients now have the freedom to focus on what they do best. Break free from business barriers with Malayatech.